So, Mike, please tell us your initial thoughts. What's going on in your head? Fill us in.
I can't. First of all, I cannot believe someone scored a 0 and still won. My mind is just blown. And on that note, honestly, if I end up going home, because I know I've been slacking with my social game, like I talked to Mac a lot, I've talked to Brian, a little bit with Brett, and I feel really good with Lucy, even though I owe her a call because I've been so busy trying to focus on the scavenger hunt and like one thing at a time. If I go home here, I'm gonna be so upset because I just scrolled through the chart and like I almost filled it. Well, not at the bottom. There's a few blunders and a few videos I missed, but I tried to do the hold down, throw down, and the renegade, and my brain could just not process all of the moves all out in
How do you
multiple
feel
settings.
how do you feel your other tribe mates did in the competition?
I mean, I just looked. As of right now, I'm inclined to vote Madison, but if that's not what majority wants, then that's fine. Because
Why?
I just went through like the chart to see how everyone else did because I was only focused on mine, and I noticed like hers is like almost empty.
Mm.
I unfortunately usually I like her vibe. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to the first tribal, my deciding factor on who I vote for is usually challenge performance because there's really not much else you could base it off of.
Do you think that will be the consensus of the tribe?
I don't know what the consensus of the tribe would be.
What is your plan to make sure that it's not you?
Just try to get on call and just talk to whoever I need to as much as I possibly can. And I'm hoping to use my own performance as leverage, which is why I left like the errors, the mistakes I made with the scavenger hunt. I left those there as like my little strategy of if the tribe sees this, they know I'm still working my ass off. I'm still trying really hard to pull my end here. And I'm hoping that is taken into consideration because I believe my column only has like 2 or 3 yellows and like a lot of green. I had every 1-pointer except for one thing.
Right. You touched on it a little bit. Who do you feel closest to on your tribe?
I want to ride or die with Max so badly, and I just have not been able to get on that call because I've either been sleeping or tired or scavenger hunting and have not been able to call anybody yet. I also really like Lucy's vibe because we're both like musicians and stuff. Stuttering a little bit.
Who do you feel least connected to on the tribe?
I mean, I think it's kind of a little bit of a consensus that I don't think anyone's talked to Joe. But Joe did do the challenge and I feel has more stuff like filled out versus Madison who didn't really have as much. But I'm fine with anybody that's not me for the vote. So I do have to feel around, and I don't think it's gonna be me tomorrow night, whatever. It shouldn't be me.
Do you plan to what's your plan for the next 24 hours?
Social, just entirely social.
Okay. And that's
What
does that mean?
I really have to make up for lost ground because I wasn't super social. I was just so focused on the scavenger hunt. I was like, in my mind, I was like, I want to call and talk to these people, but I feel like if I do that, I'm going to get distracted and I'm going to lose time. I need time to walk up the street, go to CVS, hit up a liquor store, go to Target.
Right.
Okay.
Well, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with us before we wrap up the confessional?
I'm gonna cry if I go home tomorrow.
Oh.
If I go home after lighting my hair on fire for this, I'm gonna cry. That is precious strands of hair that will probably grow back soon because it didn't hit my scalp. I burnt my left hand putting that fire out too. No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad.
We do have a VL question for you. Who
What's
do you
up?
feel closest with / least closest with? Well, we answered that earlier. You said so Sean can answer that. And then what is going to be your biggest area for growth in this game?
Social relationships, I feel. I've always considered that a weak spot because when I get anxiety so easily that I just kind of freeze for a second. But once I try to sit down and maintain the relationships I try to maintain, it does get better for me, and I do get eased up quite a bit. It's all 100% in my head.
Okay.
Like, honestly, I'm nervous as shit right now too.
Well, thank you for that, Mike. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.